has at present 1.2 billion residents, making it the second most populous country, as well as the largest democracy in the world. Hinduism has its origin in India and, with approximately 900 million followers, is the third largest world religion, following Christianity and Islam. We take a trip through a few of India's cities in hopes of discovering some of her secrets.
Varanasi is a historical town for the good reincarnation and nirvana. It's a really wonderful city in the whole world for religious thing, because our religious thing has grown up in Varanasi and it is spread it to all over the world. So Varanasi is a really miracle, oldest religious important city in the whole world. If the people believe, for them it's a habit, otherwise it's nothing. But due to Ganga, each and every person, they want to come Varanasi to make a purified the body and soul. Welcome. Whenever you have a time, come to see Varanasi at least once in a life.
Varanasi is one of the oldest still inhabited cities in the world. The city was mentioned in the famous Indian epics Mahabharata and Ramayana and presently has approximately 1.2 million inhabitants. Being the holiest of all Hindu cities, Varanasi is also known as the City of Light. The way to the Ganges leads through the picturesque historical old town of Varanasi. Vessels for candles for a worship at the Ganges river are manufactured here. The old town is a labyrinth of winding alleyways. The Ganges river serves as an orientation. Many of the houses are 300 to 500 years old. Time appears to have stood still here. On the banks of the Ganges is a small temple dedicated to the god Shiva. At the entrance stands a statue of a bull. Shiva uses to ride a bull named Nandi. As one part of the Hindu Trinity, Shiva embodies the principle of destruction. Outside the Trinity, he represents everything, creation and new beginning, as well as preservation and destruction. Shiva is popularly honored in the form of a linga, a conical formed stone, often interpreted as a phallic symbol. The word linga means sign. It is a sign or symbol in which all other forms dissolve. Most illustrations of Shiva depict him as having a third eye, 3 horizontal lines of ash, and a trident. In the temple arches shown here, we also find Lakshmi. She is the wife of the god Vishnu and the goddess of happiness, love, and beauty. Here we see the goddess Ganga, whose companion animal is a crocodile. According to mythology, Ganga was caught in Shiva's hair as she fell from heaven. Ganesha is a son of Shiva. He is the god of wisdom and happiness. Ganesha is one of the most widely worshipped deities in the Hindu religion. For over 2,500 years, believers have been making pilgrimages to the Ganges in Varanasi in order to bathe, thus cleansing themselves of their sins and disrupting the continuous cycle of reincarnation. The Ganges is India's lifeline, the cradle of her culture, her holy river, and the foundation of life for millions of people. One can light a candle and set it afloat on the river. The light represents a wish. The river receives the wish, and then it will be fulfilled. Every evening, a religious service in honor of Mother Ganga takes place on the banks of the river, as seen here on the Dasaswamet Ghat. It is a demonstration of gratitude for blessings received. The city Varanasi belongs to Shiva, thus the ceremony is in honor of both Mother Ganga and Shiva. As the waters flow down his face, the violent turbulence of the floods is broken. Ganga and Shiva belong together and are therefore jointly honored. Afterwards, a small ceremony is held for the goddess Kali. The marriage season in India takes place from December to February. The procession ends at the festively decorated place of celebration. A large number of guests are invited and splendidly fed. Weddings are considered to be an absolute highlight in life. No efforts are spared to make the day a special and unforgettable experience. The Kumbh Mela, which took place from January to March in 2013, was attended by 120 million visitors, making it the largest religious festival of all time. For faithful Hindus, the Kumbh Mela is the holiest of all pilgrimages, and Allahabad is a very special place. In 2013, this place of pilgrimage was enriched by yet another highlight, the Kumbh Mela, the festival of the jug, containing the nectar of eternal life. As the legend goes, the gods and demons gathered the nectar of eternal life and conserved it in a jug. But as they began to quarrel about the jug, they spilled 4 of the precious drops. Allahabad is one of 4 sites in India which were sanctified as these drops fell to earth. Every 12 years, the stars are aligned such that these 4 drops of heavenly nectar manifest in the Ganges river, giving occasion to the Kumbh Mela celebration. A bath in the Ganges, which frees the pilgrims of their sins, is 1,000,000 times more effective on these astrologically auspicious days. Kolkata, with its 4.5 million residents, is the 7th largest city in India and was India's capital under British rule in 1911. Today, Kolkata is an industrial city, the intersection of important thoroughfares and a cultural center with universities, theaters, cinemas, museums and galleries. Kolkata is considered to be the cradle of modern Indian art and literature. The English major W.N. Forbes supervised the completion of the Anglican St. Paul's Cathedral, which was finished in 1947. The building was erected in the new Gothic style. The steel girder roof, 75 by 24 meters, was at that time the longest in the world. The pointed arch-top windows, continuing down to the floor, and fans attached to the ceiling provide for good ventilation. St. Paul's is an impressive example of British architecture in India. The Victoria Memorial, in honor of Queen Victoria of Great Britain, was erected near St. Paul's Cathedral and was finished in 1921. It is a popular tourist attraction and currently serves as a museum. The memorial is an impressive relic of colonial rule in Kolkata.
I start my day with meditation in the morning. I pray and meditate on my Guruji, Paramahansa Yogananda, and that way whatever comes throughout the day I'm able to accept and go by each day and each minute as it comes, and that's how each day is taken care of, I feel. And I always believe whenever we are told in our satsangs and all that it is your present, that what you do in your present holds the key to your future, and what is past cannot be undone. So every minute and every present I try to do the best I can.
Lotus Temple in the north of Kolkata was erected in 1867 and was named after the 23rd spiritual leader of Jainism, Parshvanath. The temple is built of white marble and is surrounded by a lovely garden. Parshvanath lived in the 9th century after Christ. At the age of 30, he became an ascetic and preached the doctrine of non-violence for 70 years. As a result of following the idea of non-violence, Jainas nourish themselves such that no animal or plant must be killed. Of central importance are the vows of non-violence, truth, non-stealing, non-possession and celibacy. Mumbai is the capital city of Maharashtra and the most important port city on the subcontinent. The famous landmark of the city is located in the Kolkata district. The historic structure was erected in 1911 in memory of the visit of the English King George V and his wife Maria von Teck. Originally, it was conceived as a festive landing point for passengers arriving by ship. In 1948, the last of the remaining English troops departed India from here. Just behind the gateway stands the Taj Mahal Hotel. It was designed in Indo-Saracenic style by Jamshedji Tata and first opened its doors to guests in December 1903. Since then, many famous personalities such as Prince Charles and the Beatles have been guests at this hotel. After the terrorist attacks in November 2008, the reopening took place in August 2010. The domed skylight of the hotel is one of the formative buildings, marking the skyline of Mumbai. The Radha Gopinath Temple was founded in 1986 by Swami Radhanath. The temple, built of red sandstone, can be found in the Chowpatty district and is visited daily by many believers. Since 1994, the temple belongs to the Hare Krishna movement and symbolizes the value of fellowship. For his devotees, Krishna represents the highest of all incarnations. The essence of Krishna religiousness is a very emotional and religious devotion. Veneration of the divine is expressed in pictures, religious chanting, and readings from the Bhagavad Gita. Adjoining is a smaller temple dedicated to Lord Vishnu Narayan, the preserver, and his wife Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity. In the temple garden, one finds depictions of many other personalities of the spiritual world. The largest slum in Asia can be found in Mumbai. Dharavi was originally located on the outskirts of the city, but as the city expanded, it was encircled so that it is now part of the city center. Approximately 800,000 people live here, bordered on two sides by the most important railway lines in the city, the Western and the Central Railways. Dharavi is the most densely populated place on earth. More than half of the residents of Mumbai live in slums. Due to the success of the film Slumdog Millionaire, this place has become a tourist attraction, known worldwide. The profit attained through tour groups is used to maintain a school, a kindergarten and a community center.
God exists in everyone, and the more we reach out to help others, the more we strive to, serve others. It is in that experience that we are living in His presence, and that we are kind of fulfilling the role that, for which we have incarnated. And I feel love is something which we all should always strive towards giving, and should always try to feel that in our hearts. So in Italy, I visited Rome, which was very beautiful, and at the main cathedral I felt completely at peace. I visited Assisi and a few places, and I must tell you that when people come to India and they visit spiritual places and they say that it really they really feel like home. So similarly, there are places in the West, in Europe. I mean, I can tell you about Italy, and these few places which I visited, I was completely at home, and I could feel a charged spiritual atmosphere. So basically, the way I look at it is, wherever saints have walked over the earth on any part of the world, they have left those vibrations there. So even seekers centuries after, or even visitors who just want to pay a visit to that place and just want to kind of have an experience or try to understand what kind of like you're visiting a church, etc. Not everyone is a spiritual seeker. There are many of them who are visitors, but even they, if they kind of try to quieten themselves and just feel the presence of God, the vibrations are so powerful that they can tangibly feel some expression of God there.
bin von Deutschland immer gerne nach Indien gereist. Mir ist die große Hingabe der Menschen aufgefallen und die Disziplin, mit der schon in jungen Jahren an das Leben herangegangen wird. Der Alltag wird grundsätzlich unter dem Bezug zur Religion betrachtet. Zum Beispiel befindet sich in jedem Hotel, in allen Krankenhäusern und auch in anderen Einrichtungen ein Hausaltar, vor dem das Personal zwischen den Arbeitsgängen kurz verweilt und dann seine Arbeit fortsetzt. Dann befindet sich in jedem Taxi auf der Konsole eine Heiligenfigur, die den Fahrer während seines Dienstes begleitet. Dieses Land hat nicht nur mit Mahatma Gandhi einen bemerkenswerten Politiker hervorgebracht, der es unter anderem verstanden hat, Indien auf friedliche Art und Weise von der Herrschaft der Engländer zu befreien. Viele andere große Seelen, wie Krishna, haben auch in Indien gelebt und haben durch ihr Leben und ihr Wirken viele andere Menschen geistig inspiriert. Die Geschichte von der Schlacht in Kurukshetra, die in der Bhagavad Gita erwähnt wird, stelle ich in ihrer Bedeutung neben die Kreuzigung Jesu im Neuen Testament.
"160 kilometers north of Delhi lies the city of Kurukshetra. The city of approximately 160,000 residents has a university and is the administrative center of the district of Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is also known as Dharmakshetra, meaning the holy city. This site is of importance due to the war of Kurukshetra, which occurred here. Through this gateway one arrives at Brahma Sarovar, the present-day memorial of the war. This monument of Krishna and Arjuna was completed in 2007 on the former battlefield. It is the largest bronze monument in India. We look back in time to the battle which took place some 5,000 years ago. According to tradition, the great battle, which serves as the setting of the Bhagavad Gita, one of the central scriptures of Hinduism, occurred on the Kuru's field. The battle between the Kauravas and the Pandavas, both descendants of the Kuru dynasty, continued for 18 days. The Pandavas had been cheated of their part of the kingdom by the Kauravas, and now, after having been banned from their homeland for 13 years, returned to reclaim what was rightfully theirs. The result was a war involving 3 generations of clansmen, as well as the lives of the greatest warriors of their time. In this difficult situation, just before the battle began, Krishna explained to Arjuna, the great Pandava hero, why it was essential for him to fight. Hindus interpret the hostile dispute in Kurukshetra as a symbol of the battlefield of yoga and the struggle between the powers of divine order and the ego. The Battle of Kurukshetra occurs continuously and is ever present. The chariot of Krishna and Arjuna continues to drive even today. India's capital, Delhi, with its 11 million residents, is the second largest city in India, following Mumbai, and belongs to the mega cities of the world. Many of the shops in the historical old town, Chandni Chowk, have existed for over 100 years. The selection of goods is enormous, offering everything one could wish for. On the marketplace stands a statue of the Hindu monk and scholar Vivekananda. Vivekananda was the first Hindu invited to speak at the World Parliament of Religions in 1893 in Chicago. He was the first religious representative from India invited to speak to a large Western audience. Connaught Place is a point of central importance in Delhi. It is a traditional shopping center with many shops, offices, hotels and restaurants. The India Gate is the national monument of India. Situated in the heart of Delhi, it was designed by Sir Edwin Lutyens in 1931. The 42-meter high triumphal arch was modeled after the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. The monument is a memorial for the British Indians who gave their lives for the British Empire during the First World War. Engraved are the names of 90,000 Indian and British soldiers who fell in the First World War, as well as the names of 3,000 soldiers who left their lives on the northwest border and in the 1919 war in Afghanistan. The Lotus Temple in the southern part of Delhi was inaugurated in 1986. The sacred building is one of the most famous of the Baha'i religion. It serves as the mother temple for the Indian subcontinent and is an impressive example of modern architecture in India. The Baha'i believe that God can be sought in all buildings of worship. Therefore, the Lotus Temple, like all other sacred buildings of the Baha'i, is open to believers of all religions. The worship in this temple is individual and free of public or shared rituals. There are only common readings from the various holy books of all world religions. Baha'i architecture strives to unite all those who believe in an absolute truth, regardless of religious belonging, social background, race, or nationality. It can clearly be felt that in India, religion is a philosophy and a way of life by which this land has lived for thousands of years.